Yeah, it was so fun, like
Yeah.
just learning about her, right? And watching her progress because like um if I watched the video I did when like she was just going into her first fight to like what you see now, you can see the improvements and you can see the parabellum trademarks
Oh yeah.
and you can see, you know, like I can see, you know, her training and then it going directly to what she's doing into in the ring. It's so cool. So it's like it's so fun having that sort of insider's look because you can kind of you can you can kind of watch them when they're doing it live and you can be like, okay, like you're going to make that adjustment or you know I know what you're going to do next, right? Because like you've seen them do it so many times, it's almost like they just go on autopilot.
You brought up an interesting point. I was going to ask you about this. As I don't mean to say you're quote unquote an outsider, but as somebody that's not training, I'm always wondering what you're seeing from somebody from a distance, like what your impressions are. You're seeing these people in a different light. You're kind of in there with them in more of these kind of down times in the behind the scenes. And it's like, I just wonder what you see behind your camera there with these people that maybe the rest of us don't. Like, I don't know if you see,
Right.
vulnerability in them or parts of their personality that come out. It just seems like a very unique position for you to be in to kind of watch these people with the camera on, you know?
Yeah, honestly, I have to say I'm really lucky to be able to do that and
Yeah.
like that a lot of them trust me enough to go back there with them. Um, because there's been plenty of times where I've been sitting in the locker room with an athlete and I get as nervous as the team gets.
Yeah.
And I think it was when I went to the fight with Jazz in Rochester, and Lyndon was there, Chris was there. I think Matt DiMarcantonio was also there. A couple of other people came also, but they left once Lyndon said, "Okay, we're getting ready. Like, get the hell out." Because when Lyndon gets ready, it's all business, right? So
Yeah.
he turns up the music and he starts warming up his athlete, and it's laser focused. Like nobody's talking. Everybody needs to shut the fuck up and stay out of everybody's way. And the second that happens, like my body just started to feel like I started tensing up. Like I got goosebumps. I was like, oh my God, it's time. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Right. Because up until that point, they're waiting maybe 2 or 3 hours before they're supposed to go on. And it's just like, you know, they're shooting the shit. They're going to the
Yep.
bathroom. They're looking at their phone. They're not really doing anything.
And then
And then
like
all of a sudden,
a switch gets flipped and it's like, oh shit. Like it's
yeah,
another level of intensity. Yeah.
and you can feel it. It's an energy. You can really feel it. And like I've walked out behind her just to film her, and I don't even want to look her in the face because I'm like I don't want to cut off her focus. Like I don't even want to smile at her because I don't know if I'm gonna fuck her up. You know,
Yeah.
like
Don't be
I'm
happy
I'm
around me
sure I
right now.
wouldn't.
Don't you be happy around me
Right?
right
Like
now. Yeah.
hey, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah, exactly. Oh, you're gonna kill it. You're like hugging her, and she's like, "Get the fuck off me, dude! Get the fuck off me!"
stay the fuck away from me.
Yeah,
So I just try and kind of get I try and capture that when I'm there, and I've been so lucky to be able to do that. You know, it depends. Certain athletes are different, right? Like
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah,
I've hung out with Lindsay at a boxing fight before, and she was so just chill, right? She's bouncing around, getting ready. She loves boxing, you know, like it's all fun and games. Rory and Lyndon were there, and her other coach Bruckman,
yep.
he was
Justin.
also
Yeah,
there. And yeah, it was fun, loosey goosey. She walked out. She was home in Oshawa, walked out to Hungry Eyes, the Dirty Dancing song, and like was just smiling, and it was so fun. And then she went out there and just killed the girls. So
yep.
everybody's different,
No, it's so
and they
true.
work differently, but it still doesn't stop me from feeling what they're feeling. Like it's weird. Like I know that I'm not really a part of it, and I haven't been a part of the preparations per se, but I feel like I am when I'm there in that moment because it's so intense.
Well, I mean, it's a word that you said that really made sense and struck me as trust, right? Like these people trust you, right? It's like you're not. I guess you're not there in that capacity, but you are. Like you're kind of this. They probably don't have a lot of people in that inner circle that are that close that they really trust. And it's really cool that you're there because yeah, there's just so much of this that we don't see, right? Like I mean, we see the from the public, like me, right? Like I see a bit of the training. I get to train with these guys on the ground sometimes, but it's like when that's gone, I just see them making the walk out into the cage, and that's it. Like I don't, I've never been in the back with Josh or Lyndon or these guys, so I don't get to see that, and I'm very fascinated by it because it must be such an intense and crazy experience. And I can't imagine being in that room because I feel like when I watch people fight that I even know. Like, not that I'm like best friends with these people, because I'm not. It's just, but when you see them, it makes them. I just said this to Josh Hill. I interviewed him last week. And it's like you realize that these are real people, like they're vulnerable
Yeah.
people. And it's like otherwise, if you see them on social media, it's like I said, it's more like a video game character or a movie. Like you're not invested on that level. And to just see them and to experience part of their life, you just like, oh, wow, this is a person that I don't want to see them get hurt, you know? Like there's more of a connection
Hmm.
there. And I get super nervous watching like Josh or Aaron Jeffrey. Like my heart is fucking pounding out of my chest because you feel so helpless. So I think
Yeah.
that that's really cool what you do to be behind the scenes like that.
Yeah, well, honestly, that's the best part of it, right? Like even though I get great content, even though I'm happy to be there and take photos and document the whole thing, the fact that I get to be there at all is amazing. And trust me, it's I'm sure the if I was there at, let's say for example, Jazz had her UFC debut and I was there, it would probably feel the exact same way. Even though the stakes are higher in a way, it would probably feel the same way just because it's always going to be nerve-wracking. It's always nerve-wracking, right? You're literally leaving your whole team behind and getting in a cage by yourself and hoping that everything that you just did, you know,
Yeah.
is gonna help you succeed. And I could never imagine what that feels like, and I honestly don't think I'm interested in figuring it out. So like
Yeah.
just
Oh
even
yeah.
feeling that for that 30 seconds is enough for me.